It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing another reaction discussion video that's suggested by one of you guys in the Discord community. So shout out to Aureus for suggesting this video. And this one is from theMrHeadache, titled Playing Against Perks, Not Players is Ruining DBD, Rant, Dead by Daylight. And I probably have spoken about Fast Track before, but here we are, you know what I mean, talking about it again from theMrHeadache here, because honestly, he offers a lot of interesting, takes, offers a lot of evidence and examples, very level-headed, you know what I mean, offers a lot of really great information. And the original video is obviously going to be linked in the description. But I wanted to quickly touch on is just a couple of talking points within the video, but obviously you're going to be able to watch the full thing on your own. But I just wanted to talk about couple things. So let's go ahead and get into it.
And this is why I was talking about this is the straw that broke the camel's back, because this is not new. We've been kind of having this power creep of just easy activation, brainless autopilot perks that are game changing despite how easy they are for a long time. Sprint Burst Vigil, we've had Shoulder the Burn's been messing people up for a long time. We have the usual suspects, Windows of Opportunity.
As you can see, I have to completely agree with this take. I mean, honestly, I've been talking about this on stream nonstop. This is something that I've constantly discussed. There's so many perks that are on for some reason exist that are completely brainless. They completely are autopilot brainless perks that give you value for doing nothing. I've said this many times about Decisive Strike. I've said this many times about Sprint Burst. I've said this many times about Dead Hard. I've said this many times about Vigil, obviously combined with Sprint Burst as well, Deja Vu, Botany Knowledge, you name it. You're just getting bonuses for free, and yet there's just simply no activation for them, no cooldowns. And obviously that was mentioned in Windows of Opportunity. There's so many perks that are just you just have them at all times. I'm like, but when I'm on killer, I have to constantly meet the requirement. Oh, you want regen regression? Well, you have to kick it first, have it highlight, then after that's done, you got to go and freshly down somebody, and then you'll blow it up, and it only does 10 seconds of 10%, I should say, of regression for 10 seconds of repair. And you can hit it multiple gens, but you have to make sure you stop and kick them all and then down somebody in time. Great. It's great. Oh, here's another really great slowdown, but you once again have to freshly down somebody. And then also pick the right hook, because if you don't pick the right one, you're not getting your slowdown. And guess what? Your slowdown still means nothing, because the speeds are just faster. Lovely. It's just great. And the thing is you can't argue that there's other perks that are pretty autopilot that kind of do their thing on their own, but the impact of them are different. So some people reference Brutal Strength or Lethal Pursuer, and it's that's fine. You know what I mean? Those are automatic perks that are active at all times, but I can't say that you're winning games because Lethal was active that first time around on a consistent basis. You're not winning chases because you had Lethal at the start of the game. You're not winning chases because you had Brutal Strength every single chase. Especially with the pallet density, there's a new one 2 feet away, so it's not like you kicking it a little bit quicker is going to magically get you that down. Especially with how people use Brutal Strength a lot of the time that I've seen, at least. No shade to anybody new, of course, but it's if people are not really kicking the pallets in the correct directions either, so you're still not getting any value. And that's obviously, like I said, no shade. Everyone's got to learn. You know what I mean? But that still adds on to the point that it's these perks that they can say is oh so autopilot for on one end is just simply not equal in the other end. Because the impact of one autopilot brain dead perk is way different than the impact of another one. So,
the other easy activate exhaustion perks like Life, like Balance Landing. We have
I really want to mention Dramaturgy and Finesse, because that one I think was pretty crazy. And I think people weren't using it to its fullest extent. I covered a video that Odds actually showed that it literally worked basically the same as old Dead Hard. you know, back in the day when it would give you like a boost. And I was like, yeah, there's no M1 killer in this goddamn game that's hitting that. Like, there's no M1 killer, and mind you, finesse as well just eats up your M1s if you're an M1 killer. Like, you're pretty, like, if you're just like an inch away, like a little too, like an inch too far, right? You're not getting a hit. You're not getting that hit. It's just not possible. And it's worse on Ghostface, because keep in mind that it activates when they're healthy, right? Every 20 seconds. So I have to mark them, right? And then they just dodge the M1, and I'm like, okay, well, there goes all the effort and all the pressure I just had, because it took me how long to get the mark up, get in there without being spotted, then to get close enough to then just be able to completely dodge the M1, which connects with Lithe or something, and then it flies away. All the pressure I had is gone, right? Character's already weak as it is. Then let's also talk about, obviously, there's so many at this point, you're already thinking of it. Like, you already know the perks that are just this ridiculous. And I've talked about this many times, and somehow they say it just isn't a problem.
Healing perks being buffed through the roof. We've got the botany knowledge, and Wigglyf has been very, very annoying lately. Like, it's just so many perks just go burr. So you run into this situation now when it comes to fast track, because if you're playing nice, you get punished. That's just fast track's design, which is completely backwards.
Yep, you heard it right there, folks. You heard it right there. Fast track's fundamental design goes directly against the philosophy that behavior is trying to have people play in, right? The whole idea is you want to play nice and not tunnel and not use strategies on killer for some reason, and yet you're getting punished when they bring that perk. You're giving them permanent progress on gens by just hooking them. How does that make any goddamn sense? A brand new part every hook? How is that fair? Which, in terms of its effects, not the amount of progression. How is that fair to people? Your entire philosophy is we want you to play a certain way, and instead of trying to find better ways to implement those things to make it more of a nice incentive and actually give you a reason to play nice, to give you better bonuses, better benefits, better things, and have it be a decision making that's more important than just I have perk or I have this, so therefore I win. But instead, they're not concerned with that for some reason. And my question is like, if we're really only focusing on trying to get the most casual of Survivor players to stay in the game, just give you a bunch of money, why are we also not concerned with the casual killers too? Because those casual survivors are going against those casual killers. Like, they're also a part of the community that also can provide funding. Like, you would think that trying to have a good playing field for both ends would double your profits almost, because you're literally having every player pretty much matter. But if you're only going to hard focus on one type of player, you're alienating the rest of the players, which then you're still going to lose more funding, because those people ain't going to buy your stuff. They're not going to buy your cosmetics.
Is that fast track is poorly designed because it punishes you for playing nice and spreading hooks, which is what every survivor supposedly wants. So what do I do instead? Do I tunnel? Well, if you tunnel, remember, survivors have superpowers now if they get hooked. So they have 15-second BT, 70-second hook stakes, so they can be left to the last second. And when they get unhooked, they can have Dead Hard, they can have DS.
Yep. This is what I've been saying on my own streams too, and I have to completely agree with the theMrHeadache here. It's like they're freaking, like, they got super soldier serums on every single unhook, like 15 seconds of endurances, and they still go down, mind you. So it's like the whole point of it to try to help these people. They still are going down in seconds anyway. The only problem is that because it takes so freaking long, more gens are flying. But it's like these people should already be on the ground at that point. If they're not good, they have to learn. Why is learning a bad thing in this community? What's wrong with learning? It's crazy how quick they'll tell a killer player to learn, oh, get better at the game, get better at the game. And try to gaslight you, right, into playing a certain way. But why is it somehow a problem when we're telling them to learn too? Right? It makes no sense. It's only casual until it isn't. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And yet you continue to give them superpowers. And that's the part I just don't get. It's like, you would think that the characters with actual powers would be doing something more than what they're doing, but they're a bunch it's like they're a bunch of party clowns, just there to just look a little scary in the corner, and while everyone plays Gen Simulator. Why? It just makes no freaking sense.
They could have everything to defend themselves against that situation. So tunneling, not great. So I should slug. Hey, welcome back. We're gonna live forever. We were just talking about you. They can be picked up in 2 seconds thanks to Wigglyff and other healing perks. They could have Unbreakable pick themselves up. So that's not a good plan, but I can't play nice without any other option, because then fast track profits. It's literally darned if you do, darned if you don't.
That's quite literally right there. Mr. Headache just nailed it right there. That's exactly what everybody who's a killer player is trying to tell people, is like, we are kind of screwed no matter what. If I decide to go for hooks, oh, permanent progress on gens now. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, okay, maybe if I don't hook them, I won't get that crazy ass bonus for them. Oh, well, they can get themselves up anyway, and they can get picked up instantly. Even without Wigglyff too, because keep in mind that if they're on the ground, it automatically fills the heal bar, you know what I mean, the recovery bar by itself. So like, it doesn't even, even the bare minimum of effort is being stripped away. The simplicity of just pressing down a button, at the very least you had to press down a button, was taken out, right? And that is and I've heard people like go like, well, what's the problem with that? The mere problem that I'm having with it is that you're taking away already the bare minimum of just pressing a button on that side. Let alone, yet as killer, I gotta press 15 different inputs, constantly time things correctly as perfectly as possible to get this one thing to happen. And then sometimes the game will decide that that still doesn't matter. I gotta be picture perfect with everything I'm doing on this side to just have just a little 10% off the gen. And people are out here can literally toggle the gen repair, toggle the not even toggle, just automatically recover on the ground. It's like, dude, you literally give them indicators when our perks are active, right? If this illusion's active, there's a little indicator. If this other perk is active, there's an indicator. If there's a hex active, there's an indicator. Where's the killer indicators then? Why isn't there, hey, they're like, here's a little like sign, boom, boom's hit, the boon is there. Put it on the screen, boom, boon is there. Hey, blast mine's here. Hey, this decisive's active. So you can stand over them and go, oh, they have decisive, I'm not gonna pick them up. Like, why don't we have those things, right? But it took them how long to give the killer players their hook states on the screen? I don't get it, right? I don't get it. And that's my point. It's like you're constantly just stuck because it's like you can't just like do your job. You're literally playing a character that his entire purpose is to kill the victims. Like, why are they what? Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? But getting back to the point, you're literally, as he mentioned, you're darned if you do, darned if you don't, right? You down them, can't hook them because you give them free permanent progress. If you do decide to hook them, you also could give them superpowers. They have all these different other perks that activate. You're like, okay, well, if I leave them on the ground, then those perks activate. So you're like, okay, so what the hell am I doing? Like, it's like, what? Like, pick your poison, I guess. Like, either I have to eat an endurance or eat an endurance, or eat speed boost endurance, or eat this and that endurance, or free gen progress, or if I leave them on the ground, they can pick themselves up infinitely, or instantly heal from off the ground, or instantly be like have endurance from off the ground, or some other nonsense. So even that can't be countered. Pick themselves up with 2 different perks. Like, what? So how do we slow them down then, right?
Literally every option you have is killer right now, and this is under the assumption that you are playing like a not top 5 killer with your own quad slowdown. We're talking about a majority.
Exactly. That is a key point right there that Mr. Headache is bringing up, is like the difference between the top 3 to top 5. You know, I would even argue top 2, and then maybe the 3 to 5 are like kind of 8s here. But considering that we're talking about the vast majority, because people love to say, oh my god, it's particularly killer sided. For who? I don't know. Like, please Please enlighten me as to how it could possibly be killer sided for anybody. Please. Because Blight is not a good argument. One single killer out of like 40 something killers is not going to somehow mean that the entire side is just completely fine. Like, no, that's not how that works. That does not how it works. Nurse being Nurse is her own game entirely. She shouldn't even be in the conversation. She's Nurse. No character could go through the wall, like, besides her. Nurse cannot even be considered in the conversation. Because that's Nurse. We're talking about the rest of the roster. The rest of the people that decide they're not gonna play quad slowdown with the S tiers, which already in itself is an outlier.
Majority of the roster here. You're kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't. You're just kind of at the mercy of if survivors bring this stuff or not, or if the teams make a mistake. Because if they're playing even moderately competently, the perks are going to carry them to victory in the current meta. And you wonder why, when you play solo queue, your teammates are so bad. It's because everybody understands that solo queue is bad, so everybody's grouping together. You know what happens when people group together more often? They run more synergetic builds, including multiple fast tracks. I've seen plenty of screenshots across people's Twitters of a bunch of BNPs, bunch of fast track, hyper-focus stake.
Yeah, there you go. Brain, Mr. Headache here, or I think it's Brain, literally said it himself. And I've had people come into my stream too, and they would ask, like, hey, have you gone against it a lot? I think I probably have, but at this point, because I just glance and I just see deja vu, I'm like, there's probably like at least 3 to 4 more gen perks right next to them. I just click off. I'm like, whatever. You know what I mean? I stop even trying to like acknowledge it because it's repetitive. It's the same. You say the same eye, then you see the same person on a hill, and then you see the same hand holding a glass shard or whatever that is. Then you see the same, like, legs with sneakers, like whatever perk, like, you know what I mean? You just look and you see the same exact icons everywhere. You're like, that checks out. That checks out. You know what I mean? Of course it does. Like, it just checks out. Why wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't it? And I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? I really am sick of it. It's ridiculous to me that that's like the meta now, right? It's constant anti-interaction, fun, I guess you could even say that too if you wanted to. Perks that you could ever see. And it's ridiculous. I'm just like, dude, like, fast track is a problem. It's a symptom of a greater issue, because a lot of people go, oh, well, fast track's fine. It's not. Because that already, if we let that perk slide, that is only going to open the door, if the door isn't already open, for even more gen permanence, gen progress, gen speed, gen this, gen that. And you're like, dude, we don't need that. Like, there's none necessary. We should be slowing the gens down for everybody involved so that the game can shift to a focus more so on the cat and mouse, because that's what the devs originally wanted to create, which was the horror movie experience. You're running from a killer. You're running from, and in this case, Myers or Freddy or Ghostface or whatever. Like, you're running from like these characters. Like, that's should be the fun part. You're like, oh my god, it's Bubba from Texas. Oh my goodness, he has a chainsaw. I gotta get out of here. Like, that should be the fun part of it. But for some reason, we're all about the gen simulator. I just don't get it. Because it's very uninteresting, at least for me, to watch and to try to play. Because it's like, what am I doing? I'm filling a bar up for the majority of the match. I'm filling a healing bar, a gen bar, a mend bar, this bar. I'm like, can I actually engage with some gameplay? No. I've even noticed this in 2v8 because they force you to play 2 matches of Survivor on 2v8 before you get into Killer. And it's literally the same thing that we've always had to deal with at 1v4 on a grand scale. I'm filling a bar, then I go to the next thing, fill the bar there, then somebody dies, then I gotta fill that bar up, then run back and fill another bar up, and I'm like, okay, so where's the gameplay? Like I'm just doing a bunch of busy tidy work of just filling bar. Like, I would like to, do something more engaging, you know what I mean? And that's why I gotta give it to Friday the 13th in that sense. I always do. Because at least, like, I was exploring and looking for items. I was like, at least I'm okay, let me check this cabin. I haven't checked it yet. Let me check the drawer. Let me check this. Oh god, I hear something. The lights turned off. Oh nah, like, I'm about to bro is about to come after me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, oh, nah. And then it's like, okay, cool, we got the part here, we could put this there, and then we're gonna run over here and try to grab this and try to like time it and then strategize around it and stuff like that. Now, obviously the game had its flaws, but there's certain core parts of it that I go, yo, add this to DBD, the game's gonna be great. Make it more engaging, make it more fun, have it be about exploration. Have it be about that, because we don't need the whole game to be on filling bars and doing it the fastest way you can. Like, come on now. We should be focusing on the actual gameplay itself. The actual like chase parts. The parts are fun. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys once again, original videos linked in the description. Please watch the full video on your own. And let me know your guys' thoughts in this comment section, man. What do you think of the topic at hand today? What is your thoughts on this? I gotta know. Consider hitting the thumbs up and subscribing. If you really want to be supporting the channel, you can go ahead and become a member on YouTube or even on Patreon or even subbing on Twitch. I will see you guys in the next one. All right, let's go ahead and read off these wonderful members. We got Patreon, Crow Vader. All my YouTube members, Brando, Evil Blade, Cap Courteous, WTF You're Not J-Lo, Evil Peach, Cargan Falcon, Dole Whip, Noxus, Zero Mocker, Jack, Christian, and Crow Vader. Really appreciate you guys supporting, man. And if you also subbed on Twitch, just know that you got love coming your way too. Appreciate you guys, man.